Is having a Rolex a show off, or is it actually a good investment? That is actually a question that has come up a lot on my Instagram account. Since I bought the watch about a year and a half ago, I get a lot of eyeballs whenever I am out on the street and, eating at a place or wherever. But since I started showing it on social media, I have actually gotten a lot of comments and messages about the watch. It's so crazy to me that people think that the only way that people are successful is if they're wearing a $10, $20, $30,000 watch. It doesn't need to be Rolex. There are other brands that represent the same thing, but I feel like Rolex is just the most classic success symbol, right? It became kind of like Apple, where the brand is just something where people identify themselves within a certain money category, if you will. Today, I'm here to show you that a Rolex or a luxury brand watch can actually be a good investment. I want to share the reasons and the story as to why I bought it, and I want to share to you why you could consider buying a watch as long as you buy one that holds its value. Here's the deal. Whenever people feel like you have to have a watch like this in order for you to be successful, that's where I have a problem, right? I never saw this as, oh, I'm successful, I'm going to buy it now. In fact, I have many friends that are richer than me, that are wealthier, that are just doing things that I could even just dream about, that don't have any watches because they don't like them, right? So don't ever judge somebody because of what watch they're wearing, what clothes they're wearing. I know a lot of people also that you see Louis Vuitton and you see Gucci and different brands, they're broke because they spent all their money getting those things. So never judge. The first thing that I want to tell you about this is never judge somebody just because what watch they're wearing, what brands their clothes are. None of those things matter a single thing when it comes down to measuring success. So that's just the first thing that I want to tell you. And I want to go into the story as to why and how I bought the watch, and also, is it a good investment? The first thing that I wanted to get out of the way was that, and just let you know that it's not a show off for most people. Some people do, right? Some people just get $10,000, $20,000 together, and the first thing they do is to buy a watch. But not everybody's that way. So never measure somebody's success by the watch or the clothes that they're wearing. My name is Andrew Pizzi. I'm an investor and entrepreneur out of Las Vegas, and I want to welcome you to the AP Show, where I'll be focusing on how to build a good life around health, wealth, love, and happiness, which I believe are all needed in order for you to build a great life overall and not just in one specific area. Most people that you see on social media or anywhere really that you see successfully in terms of money don't have their health together, or don't have a good, healthy relationship, or they're not happy. And I wanted to build a life since I was a kid where I had everything, right? I always thought that I could have the health, the wealth, the love, and the happiness. I just didn't know them by the 4 pillars. But now that I do, I try to live my life that way. I don't want to have a lot of money if I'm unhealthy, nor do I want to have all the health and not have any money. So this channel is about balancing the 2, or the 4 in this case, and having them together working for you. Before we jump into today's content, please hit the like button so that YouTube can push this content out to more people. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any videos, and comment below with your thoughts about this topic, this video, and any future videos that you would like me to see reviewing. Now, the first thing I have to say about my experience buying the Rolex is how crazy the wait time is. It's so insane to me that you're about to pay $12,000 for a watch and you have to wait 6 months in order for the watch to come. The first thing that this tells you is not that they are trying to just sell more watches, or they're trying to get down to quality customers that they can build relationships with. If you go to Rolex, you can't buy a watch right now unless they have a very uncommon or just unwanted watch that nobody has picked up from the store. But every watch that they sell, they know the buyer, they have talked to you, they have built a relationship with you, which actually makes the experience just that much more special. So Whenever you go to any other brand that is not, a luxury brand, you're going to be able to just pick up the watch from the counter and you're going to walk away with the watch. With a Rolex or a Patek Philippe or, an AP or one of those brands, you have to go into the store and actually build a relationship and basically just show them why they should pick you as the buyer of their watch. So that makes the brand just be more luxurious, just more desired, and that alone holds the value of the asset, because not everybody can get their hands on a watch that they manufacture. The other thing that I can tell you on that same note is the fact that many people feel like money is scarce. And I'm kind of getting into the reason as to why I bought the watch. To me, this was a symbol for myself that was going to remind me that this is possible, thereby everything else that I have as a goal is possible as well. If I could pay 12 grand for a watch, then I can go buy the G-Wagon that I want one day. And whenever I get the G-Wagon, it's not going to be to show off. I've wanted the car for 5 years now, and I'm probably not gonna get it for another 5. So I'm gonna have desired the car for a decade before I got it. Am I getting it to show off? No. It just means to me that I have achieved what I said that I was going to do. It just means to me that I had the discipline. It just means to me that whenever I put the watch in the morning, I know that I earned that through many, many, many days that I didn't want to get up, the many days that I didn't want to do the things that are required to get yourself to be in this position. So whenever you see people, like I was saying in the beginning, don't judge them on the watch that they're wearing or the clothes that they're wearing. And number 2, don't just automatically assume that everybody that has a Rolex or a luxury watch bought them to show off. Because in my case, it was not to show off. In my case, it was a symbol that I did the things that were hard and that I didn't want to do, and that got me the reward. With that being said, I wanted to get that one out of the way as well, because I wanted to basically just let you know on the story and the reason behind it, not to explain it to you, because many people are gonna be like, oh, dude, why do you care about what people think? I don't. What I care about is for people to see that things are possible. And whenever you see somebody with a watch like this, or whenever you see me on social media or anywhere and I'm wearing something like this, it's because for me, it's just, I basically kept the promises that I made to myself. And this is what symbolizes that for me. So whenever you see people out on the street, just know that everything has a meaning for them, right? And also, again, don't assume that because they have a watch like this, they have a lot of money. Because the reality to the matter is, a lot of my friends are way wealthier than me and they don't have a watch like this. So that doesn't mean that I have a lot of money. It just means that I made and got to the point where I wanted to get to reward myself with this. Now, the second reason why I bought it is because it actually holds its value. Whenever I paid the money that I paid for the watch, I went to a watch retailer and tried to sell it to them just to see how much they were going to give me. When you think about it, you need to be holding your money in assets that hold their value. This watch is a watch that I can wear for 2 to 5 years and resell for really close to the price that I paid for, right? If you buy a car, I always do the math on what is it going to be worth if I ever wanted to sell it. And this watch is going to be sold one day, if I ever sell it, for the same price that I paid for it. So in reality, is an asset that I have my money parked on, because I know that whenever I don't want it anymore, or whenever an emergency comes up, I'm going to have the money there. Now, many things that you buy, like a Louis Vuitton bag or like anything, or maybe even watches that don't hold their value, that's something that you might want to rethink, because you want to have your money in as many places that hold or increase their values. During COVID, where everybody was a stock trader and everybody was making fake money, this watch was $18,000 just because everybody was looking for it. And again, remember what I said at first. You go to Rolex and you can't get it. So what do people do? They go to the second-hand market and they buy the watch. So you want to hold your money in assets that keep or increase their value. Not everything is going to hold its value, right? And not every Rolex holds its value. So you have to look for classic and looked after watches that people desire the most. Put your money in there. And if you're a watch person, enjoy seeing it on your wrist every single morning. Like for me, it's just like a symbol. And whenever I feel the weight and I put it on, I just feel more powerful. It's crazy, but that's what it means to me, right? So whenever you put your money into something like this, make sure that you're doing it for the right reason. That's number one. But number two, make sure that the piece that you're buying is a piece that is going to hold its value, because you never know what can happen tomorrow. You might be doing really well today, and I hope for you to be doing well forever, but you never know. So what you want to do is you want to keep your money in assets and places that will hold their value. Whenever you're going to buy a car, make sure that the car is not the most appreciating car. Whenever you're going to buy a watch, make sure that it holds its value. Whenever you buy a house, like the one that I just bought, I know that the homes that I purchased are actually below market value, and therefore, if I ever needed to sell them, they are holding their values. So that's why I bought the watch. Number one, it just meant something for me. It's something that I just had wanted for years. Number two, I know that the money that I'm putting into the watch is a money that I can take out whenever I want to. And then also, overall, you deserve certain nice things every now and then. My clothes are very cheap. Like I buy $50 to $80, sweaters and, stuff like that. So for me, my money goes into food. I love good food, good experiences and stuff like that. And I also love watches. So those are the two things that take my money, and that's okay, right? You just have to identify the things that you want to do and that actually truly make you happy, and you're not doing it for the wrong reasons. And the wrong reasons would be the person who's buying the Rolex and buying the stuff just to show off to people that they don't even care about. And that's just the best thing that you can do. Just buy the things that make you happy, that mean something to you, that hold their values. And if you do so, just F everybody else, right? I don't care when people say like, oh yeah, he's showing off. Oh yeah, whatever. Well, listen, I'm doing everything that I need to be doing and that I promised to myself, and that is my reward. If you want to think that I got Rolex just because it means something to people, no, it means something to me. And that's all I care about. So I would encourage you to do the same thing and do things that make you happy, regardless on what people think. And that's all I had for you in this video. I just wanted to share that message because I feel like it's important. As always, go follow me on Instagram, ask me any questions that you may have, and take care, everybody.